Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, Rising Your Believing. Today, guys, we are doing it finally. Enough people have asked for me to do this, but this is going to be the Persona 5 Royal Palace theme tier list. So each of the palace has their own, sort of theme, the songs that go along with the palace. We're going to be judging those, sort of ranking them as we go along. All of you, or most of you here, have seen me play through Persona 5 Royal. I did a whole stream. You can actually go back and check that out if you want to, see my reaction to playing through the whole game, hearing the new stuff towards the end of the game. So yes, this is the Royal, so we're going to have Dr. Maruki's themes and the extra Mementos theme as well. So let's just go over this. We're going to do this in chronological order. So the way I'm judging this is just the palace theme itself. It's not really as much of the battle music, just the overworld palace theme itself. I might do something in the future where I actually go over the battle music and different types of tracks and stuff like that in general, but this is going to be mostly just the palace themes, how it fits in with the environment, the area, the sort of boss, whatever enemy we're trying to fight within that area. So I guess Mementos is kind of different there, but basically just the sort of vibe we get from the song, the lyrics, what they say, who they're sort of talking about. So let's just start off here right off the bat. And I have a list here because, man, it's kind of hard to remember all of these songs. But the first theme, I guess, is King, Queen, and Slave here for Komoshida's Palace. And honestly, I don't think this track's actually all too bad, honestly. So I'm putting it at good because I do think it's sort of, middle of the road. It doesn't have lyrics, but it's still not a bad track. It's not too bad, and honestly, for the first palace, not a terrible track to sort of kick the game off with. It's very upbeat, which I do like. It's kind of fun to have that upbeat sort of thing at the start of the game because knowing JRPGs and stuff like that, man, it takes so long to get through it, but this actually pumps me up when I'm sort of running through the first palace, when you're spamming the A button to get Professor Oak to shut up, if there was some, nice music going on, I'd probably not be, noticing how hard it is to get through the beginning of the game, like most JRPGs end up being like. But let's move on over to Madarame. So this theme is called Woman. Honestly, I thought this was one of the most meh tracks. It's the most different, I will admit that. It is pretty different and sounds different compared to a lot of the other ones, so it's not a terrible track, but personally for me, I don't like this sort of track. It's a very Japanese type of style, but it's like very old traditional Japanese theme. Overall, I don't think it's an amazing theme. To be completely fair, I don't think it's the best theme ever. I don't even consider it to be middle road. To me, personally, I hate to say it, but I think it's meh. Like it has here, it's very meh. It's not the best. It's not very good. I don't think any of the tracks I'm going to put in garbage because of the Persona 5 Royal's soundtrack just being so good in general, but that's the only meh track we have here. This one, so the next one is called it's Price, which isn't too bad either, but it's just good as well. I think as the game goes on, honestly, I think the soundtrack for the themes for the palace and a lot of the music just in general honestly get much and much better. I know all the Whims of Fate people out there, we'll get to that, but we gotta go through this thing chronologically. So moving on to Futaba. So this is When Mother Was Here. This, honestly, a very good track. It's very kind of similar to Madarame's in some ways, where it's just sort of different noises and stuff like that. It's not like guitar riffs and stuff. It's like very, I don't know, it's out there. It's not like a traditional pop song. It fits in with the theme of the palace, I think, as well. I know Futaba's is kind of hard to get through because people don't like the layout of it. However, the Egyptian theme, the way the song sounds, even the dancing remixes and the, Dancing in the Starlight for the song, I think are actually pretty good, and I think it fits Futaba pretty well. It sounds nice. It definitely gets me through her palace a little bit easier, I think, because of just kind of how dumb it is at times. But yeah, I consider it to be a great track. Like I said, as we move on, I don't know what it is, but the later palaces, I think, have much and much better themes. So moving on here, we have Sweatshop, which I'm also going to put at great, but keep in mind, I do think this one, out of all of them, becomes the most repetitive because of just how repetitive just the song in general is. Most of these I can kind of listen to on repeat, which you're kind of supposed to do. That's why they're themes, and sometimes they're not super extravagant with lyrics, unlike Whims of Fate, but a lot of times these themes are meant to be heard over and over again, and they're supposed to make it to where it doesn't feel super repetitive, but This song honestly feels super repetitive. That's why I'm not putting it above When Mother Was Here. Switch Up, it's pretty good. Not a bad track. Definitely gets me through the palace. I think it fits the theme pretty well, although I think a more spacey type of theme would have been a little bit better. That's why it's not anywhere in Supreme or anything like that. Honestly, this one I'm having a hard time picking whether or not if it's just in good or in great. I think I'm actually going to put it in good, but it's going to be top tier on good. We'll put it top tier for good, but it's not it's not great. It's not great. We'll put it there, actually, now that I think about it. Most of these are good and passable, but we're not putting it at great. So Whims of Fate, easy. Whims of Fate has some of the best lyrics. Roll the dice, this, that, and the other within the lyrics of itself. It's in a casino. It fits super well. It's upbeat, which is nice because when you're running through that place, jumping across all the paths in the casino and stuff like that, it's really fun to hear this track, and it's super like fitting for it as well. It fits the environment super good, and I really like that. So we're putting Whims of Fate there. It's not Supreme because I got a special track set for, you know, Supreme. If I did this just like with P5, I'd probably put Whims of Fate up in Supreme, but because of some of the tracks we have down here, basically just a madman is what I'm getting at. That's why it's not there. So moving on over to Shiro. So Shiro, this is the song Arc, which I had to go back and think, like, what even was this one? Because I hardly remember. And yeah, it's Arc, which really isn't... I consider it meh as well. I don't think this is a good track at all. I don't really like this one. If anything, this might be my only garbage track. It's kind of hard for me to decide. We'll put that in meh. We'll put... I hate to say it, because I love Madarame's Palace, but we're gonna have to put we're gonna have to put A Woman in garbage. We're gonna have to put that track in garbage. Put Arc in meh because it gets the job done, but I'm not gonna sit there. I'm not like downloading that later and listening to that later on YouTube or anything like that. I'm not listening to these tracks while I'm in the shower. I'm listening to these ones up here when I'm in the shower. Mementos, I would consider this to be good as well. I'd probably put it somewhere in between, right there. I think that's perfect, actually. Slap dab right in the middle, because once again, you're in Mementos for so long, and each level does change it up, and I'm keeping that in mind when we're talking about Mementos and the brand new one, which I think the most brand new one, I think it's the Dala or something like that is what it's called for Persona 5 Royal, when it kind of links Dr. Maruki's, you know, palace and the Mementos Palace kind of together. Mementos Palace, or what do you want to call it, but this one's pretty good as well. But because you're in Mementos for so long, all they do is sort of like add different instruments or something like that to the like instrumentation of the Mementos. The deeper you go down, and the newer one that gets added because of Dr. Maruki, all they do is just sort of add new instruments and stuff like that. You're still essentially hearing the same thing, which is why I would consider this to be kind of repetitive and annoying at times. But although I will say, it fits Mementos really well. If you're like me, a person who tries to grind through Mementos, I got all of the stamps. I bought all the different stuff for, you know, Jose there. So for me, it got repetitive because I was just in Mementos for so long. The average player might not have been there as long. I guess it really just depends how long you're in Mementos in order for you to feel like some of these tracks are getting a little bit repetitive. But the best one for last, I gotta do it. I know the Whims of Fate people are gonna be upset, but Royal just took it over. Gentle Madman is one of the best. Out of Kindness is very good. However, I feel like Out of Kindness is a little bit bland. But Gentle Madman, Out of Kindness are still good enough that I consider Gentle Madman, at least Gentle Madman, maybe not Out of Kindness, but Gentle Madman to be supreme, the best track. It fits the environment, it fits Dr. Maruki, it fits the whole thing. It sounds nice. You feel sad, yet all these different feelings when you listen to the track. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to invoke your emotions. It's supposed to make you feel something when you listen to these tracks. And honestly, I think these top ones here really do it. Futaba's, you know, When Mother Was Here, it fits in so well. The name of the song fits in well for her. It sounds good. It matches the Egyptian thing, I think. And overall, it just sounds really nice, and I love the remixes of this song as well. Like I said in the Dancing in Starlight game, really good. Whims of Fate, such a classic. Tons and tons of people love this track. However, I don't think it just quite makes it. Gentle Madman is just a little bit better in my opinion, because of how it connects to Dr. Maruki so much more than Whims of Fate does with Sai Nijima. It does fit with Sai Nijima, but I think Gentle Madman just fits that little bit more, hits with the environment a little bit harder as well, and just overall, Out of Kindness is pretty good, but Gentle Madman overall is a banger of a track, man. It sounds so good. I love this song to death. This is the song that I've played on repeat more than anything. It sucks a lot of the royal tracks, or I don't think any of the royal tracks have, you know, the additional royal tracks have not made it to Spotify, which is really sad. It really should get to Spotify because, man, Gentle Madman would be a track that I'd be playing on repeat. It sucks I have to watch a YouTube video for it, but that's sort of it. Sorry for these tracks down here. I mean, sorry, not sorry, I guess I should say, but I don't think Like a Woman's very good. I don't think Arc is super great. Most of these ones here are good. I would listen to them again at some point, you know, here or there. I have listened to them, you know, here or there. And these two, obviously super, super, super good. You know, Whims of Fate, When Mother Was Here, and Gentle Madman at the top. I kind of graded this, I guess, on how much did I actually, like, go to YouTube or go to Spotify or whatever and re-listen to these tracks. This is sort of the order. Never, maybe once or twice, definitely a couple times. You know, a lot of the time I look these up, and literally every single time I'm listening to Persona tracks, I gotta look up Gentle Madman. I'll literally get off my Spotify app, go to YouTube, and at least listen to this track a couple different times. So I think that's it. I think that's my definitive Persona 5 Royal Palace theme tier list. There it is. Let me know down in the comment section below. Do you think this is justified? I tend to put a lot of things in good, but definitely a couple of these in good might move down to meh. Now I think about it here, but I think the garbage one makes sense. Sorry, I don't like that one a whole lot. But yeah, let me know. What would you do? Do you think this tier list is justified? Where would you put things? Would you swap things around? What do you think? I don't think a lot of people are going to put When Mother Was Here up here. I don't think a lot of people are going to expect that personally, so that's what I kind of expect to happen. But yeah, I think this is going to be it. I'll have some more videos cooking coming out pretty soon. More Strikers content coming up because, man, Strikers, it's right down the road, baby. It's only a couple weeks away, if that. So be ready for content like that. Streaming is going to be happening all the time now because of Strikers, and I'm still going through Persona 4 Golden, so please subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you know when I have a new video going up or when I'm live. I've been streaming a lot lately. Appreciate you guys always showing the support for these videos and for the streams. There's my little plug to you guys, so please, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.